Less hair gel, more consistency.
A book.
All right, here we go, everyone. We're back for another episode of the Football Friends podcast. I think we're up to episode 5 by this point.
Yep.
Which is amazing. We've made it this far. And this time, I am joined by Paddy, as always.
Hello.
And this time we have a special guest as well, who may become a regular fixture in the future. We'll see. Well, this is your trial run. So Ash Steele, good friend of ours.
Get up.
A debut, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ash Steele on debut. This is his first appearance.
Will he score?
Yeah. Oh,
If I do, I'll take my shirt off.
oh, great. Well, yeah. If you wanted to start to quick, tell us about yourself quickly. Tell us who you support, what you like to see, what you like about football. Things like that.
Yeah, okay. So obviously I'm Ash. Friends with these two mongs, I guess. Support Spurs, which makes me the biggest mong of the lot. And I don't think that's the only reason, but it's the main one. Yeah, Spurs supporter. So live a sad, boring life.
Yeah, so you're basically going to be our punching bag for most of the season.
100%. Fair enough.
All right, well that's good. We've got those pleasantries out of the way, so I suppose we might as well catch up to where we are now, because we've the finals are obviously very soon, but we haven't done a podcast since the quarters, so I suppose we'll briefly run through those and sort of just catch up to date so we can talk about the main story, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So what I got written down, first of all we watched the Belgium and Italy game.
Yeah. Possibly the best first half of football that the tournament has seen, followed by one of the worst, you might say.
Yeah, well, certainly the most interruptions in my mind. This was when all 5 subs were used to basically turn the entire half into a lot of standing around. And
Yeah.
not much happening, lots of delays, the Italian special, as some call it.
The Italian job.
Yeah. Pretty boring to watch in the second half, but I kind of felt like Italy deserved that one anyway. They certainly...
Yeah, on the balance, you'd probably say so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would think so. Is there something to be said for the lackluster Belgians? It's meant to be their golden generation.
Well,
have they lived up to it, or...
Well, I don't know. They've had a really good squad for a while now. Maybe just lacking in a couple of key areas, but they always just seem to choke. They can only get so far, and they don't seem to have that extra spark to go further.
I think choke is harsh. I say it is harsh, but they're not. We haven't seen them making many finals or anything like that. Yeah, I mean this is true, but when you look at the last World Cup, they knocked out Brazil and then met France, who won the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
On another day, they could have won that game. I'll say this though. On another day, they probably could not have won this game. They were second best.
Yeah, that's true. On another day, it is a literal 50% probability that they could win that game.
How dare you?
Oh, yeah. On another day, it is literally another day.
Yeah. So, but on that day in particular, Italy definitely looked like they deserved it. They've looked like they had the whole tournament.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. I mean, they haven't been defeated in 3 years or something, right?
They haven't been defeated in, I think, 33 games it is now.
Insane.
That Austria game was the first time they've been behind in 12 games? 12 full games?
Yeah, crazy.
In this tournament, they haven't been behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... I mean, it makes sense. Italy kind of looked like they were going to win it right from the start, so it's kind of not surprising that someone had to go, and it was Belgium.
Yeah. One thing I did enjoy, in a sort of backward kind of way, was Ciro Immobile basically pretending to be dead in the penalty area. The ball bouncing back in, and Barella scoring a fantastic goal.
Oh, how good to see, yeah.
And Immobile sort of peeking between his fingertips and getting up and sprinting over to the corner flag with him.
That's team spirit for you, man. It literally has a healing property.
Yeah.
When you feel that come over you, all your injuries are cured. Yeah.
Gotta get me some of that.
Yeah, so the next one I got written down here is Spain versus Switzerland, and Spain kind of got lucky in this one. I mean,
well, we had Big Shaq's goal, which was quite a tasty one. And again, I think Spain did get lucky. They've been the how do you say it? The benefactor. That they benefited from yet another own goal in this tournament, where there's been about 4 million. And taking it to pens when they were a man up for 50 minutes. I don't know if the coach has given them any extra instruction in terms of, become more attacking. But if that's not been said at full time or at 70 minutes, what's going on there?
Yeah, I would say Spain. I haven't been convinced by Spain this whole tournament. Been surprised to actually see them get that far. There's been a bit said about their new kids coming through, but I haven't seen enough from what I've watched to say that they deserve to win that game, or even to really get to that point. The Swiss showed more character and played a bit more, I'd say. But like you say, they've ridden their luck, and that's part of the game. So
well, they got lucky on the penalties with that. Really, like it was more about Switzerland missing rather than
it seemed to be
Spain scoring them. So, and then I suppose the funny thing after that is they must not have practiced penalties. Yeah. After that one,
I don't know the stats because this is kind of coming off the top of my dome, but if a team faces 2 penalty
you're right.
kicks in a tournament, generally if they win the first one, which you have to if you're going to face the other one, they won't do it again.
2 in a row is really difficult.
It's really hard. Not for Jan Sommer, apparently, who has had an absolute ball of a time.
A great summer, you might say.
A great summer, that's beautiful.
Penalties are a lottery, though. They say it every time.
I totally disagree with that.
You do?
Yeah, it's absolutely not a lottery. Lottery implies total and utter chance. It's not...
That's what I want you to think.
Okay, fine. The national lottery maybe isn't down to chance. Fine. Maybe it is rigged. But penalty kicks are not a game of chance. It's not a roll of a dice. It's a demonstrable skill. And like you said, Spain didn't win it. Switzerland lost it. If you only get one, that's piss poor.
Yeah. So, that ultimately leads us into talking about when Spain versus Italy.
Yeah.
Then, so, and that's the thing. So, like we said, Spain may have got through on penalties in the last one, and then they sort of just didn't have it.
And they faced their own second penalty shootout, which they couldn't get over the hump.
Yep. I think, I feel a bit bad for Morata on this one, because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have even been there taking the penalties in that game.
That's right.
And also Danny Olmo screwed him over big time by missing the first one. So.
Well, yeah. Look, Morata will get the... what's the opposite of plaudits? He'll get the
scrutiny.
Yeah, the scrutiny for missing the crucial one. But at least his was going in the goal. You know what I mean? Like, if you piled 2 goals on top of each other, Danny Olmo still might not have got in.
So it would have been in his own best interest to have taken the first penalty and missed. Because then it would have been... But I bet you the headline still would have been like, Morata misses crucial first Spain penalty, putting pressure on whole team.
Yeah. Which, Italy also missed their first kick. Locatelli had his kick saved.
Yes, he sure did, yeah. Yeah, true that.
Right before the penalty shootout, I don't know if you were paying attention. I don't know if you were even in the room. But Chiellini was giving Jordi Alba all of the hugs and just roughing him up and giving him like, I think at one point he slapped him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Not hard, but he
just in the Italian way.
Yeah.
In jest.
Yeah, he nearly kissed him basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is the best shithousing I've seen in.
It's a mind game.
And Italy has done some great shithousing.
Oh, definitely, man. They've all been. It's like they've all been to theatre school.
I'm positive they have. I'm positive that only 80% of their training is football.
Mm-hmm.
Only the French would understand drama better than the Italians.
Well, yeah, but that's within the squad. And once again, huge dick energy from Jorginho, the man who.
Yep.
Again,
Gotta say, man, Jorginho's had a hell of a tournament. And I gotta admit, we talked about this the other day. I actually think I have to come around on him because he had a really good season with Chelsea as well. He just seems to be improving and
brilliant.
Getting back to how good he was in Italy.
Napoli,
Yeah. So he's winning me over. I'm surprised.
It's funny how some teams sort of don't. It's almost like the Italian interpretation of a defensive midfielder is just something completely else. It's just,
well, that's what I used to think too. But I've actually noticed that he actually makes a lot of tackles. It's just because he's next to N'Golo Kante, who's making all the tackles.
Yeah, that's true.
So Jorginho's actually improved his game massively in that regard. Because he used to just be that deep lying playmaker that sort of like didn't give a fuck. But now he's actually been doing a lot more work, and that's improved him as a player overall.
Absolutely.
And he's a quiet player too. You don't know, once again, you don't notice him move around and do his thing. Like you say, you see Conte doing his thing with his big greasy smile on his face. So you're attracted to that kid running around the pitch. So
if that's what you're attracted to,
wow,
He's
a good-looking kid.
He's a
happy, good-looking kid. I have no issue with that.
Yeah. Well, we all like him. Didn't realise it was that romantic for you.
Oh well, speaking of kids, as you were slightly earlier, how about Pedri in this tournament? Plays every minute for Spain.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
18, just like confident as.
He's the shining light for Spain. Like without him, you would say this tournament has been absolute garbage for Spain.
He basically kept Thiago on the bench the whole time. Pretty much.
Yeah, which is no mean feat.
It's a big shout. So they need more than one player though. Spain can't just bank on one player for the next 4 years or the next 20 years.
Well,
they need to build around him.
Well, what about Danny Elmo? I mean, he's looked really good.
Another quality player.
Again, it was a player that we may all have known, but haven't really seen great deals from.
Yeah,
and
it's not like he's made like 50 caps or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then this tournament was actually very good for him, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
In terms of moving his career forward, I think he's ended up on the radar of a few more teams now.
And the man who plays right back, I've forgotten his name. Atletico Madrid. Midfielder who plays everywhere.
Marcus Llorente.
That's him.
Yeah. Very again. The last season at Atletico Madrid, he was amazing. He just sort of appeared from nowhere.
As they do.
Real Madrid in his past, of course, and just bossing it. And seems like he can play every position on the pitch.
Yeah, it hurts
because he's played like left mid as well,
yeah.
And right mid, and then he plays right back, and yeah. Why not?
I think my venture into the One Football app told me that Pedri did not drop a single pass in that game.
That's
unreal.
That's nuts.
I think there was other outlets showing that he dropped one, but it was 55 out of 55.
Amazing. That's incredible.
Ridiculous.
He's such a good player, man. He's like the next Iniesta.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a lot to say about an 18. What is he? 18, 19.
Yeah, 18.
Who can just step into the national team of a top
and Barcelona.
Yeah. You know, a top 5 club in the world, a top 5 country in the world, and just act like it's not, you know, he's playing with his mates at the park.
Yeah. I suppose anything else you want to say on the Spain-Italy game then? I suppose we should highlight another young star that kind of break through is Frederico Chiesa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With his amazing goal and just, what a player. Just.
Oh, what was it you said about that goal? He borrowed it from Insigne? Or he learnt that from Insigne?
Yeah. He did Insigne's move.
Yeah.
And scored the goal. Yeah. Great player, man. Just, you know. I'm pretty sure I've already talked him up pretty hard in previous episodes, but like, just can't wait to see great things from this kid, man. He's at Juventus. He's just going to be tearing it up next season.
Yeah, already one of my favourite players from the tournament.
Yeah, plays with class and flair.
Okay, so we're happy with that section.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So move on to the other games. So going back to the quarters, I've got Czech Republic versus Denmark here written down, but I didn't actually watch this game at all. I didn't really catch any of that.
I've not. No, I didn't watch 90 minutes either. It was good to see Big Shik on the score sheet again, equaling Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, very.
No mean feat.
Yeah,
and he only scored 1 pen. So up yours.
Good stuff. Oh, he's probably got most meters from the goal scored.
Is that how?
That's an additive score. Yes, you add up all of the distance you were from the goal total.
Okay, so
that is big dick energy.
Okay, so instead of is that you and I were discussing ways to eliminate penalty shootouts from football, and if teams are tied at the end of normal time or extra time, you say whoever scored the longest goal.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's like the thing we talked about the other day. Instead of doing the penalty shootout from the penalty spot, you got to kick it from halfway, but there's no goalkeeper.
You take it from your own penalty spot. Crossbar challenge.
Yeah. Anyway, Patrick Schick looks like a great player, man. I actually hope he gets a move because it's just.
What club is he currently playing for?
By Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Leverkusen.
Yeah, no small club as it is.
But are they Champions League coming up? Did they make it that far, or did they Euro League? Or
I can't remember right now. But I do know that he previously played for, I want to say it was Leipzig, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he went on.
He's been around a bit. He's not old, but he's a journeyman. He's a journeyman. He's had a few clubs, and like I say, he looks a good player. He just needs to settle down and find his goals.
Make a good golfer.
Yeah, great golfer.
Had a few clubs.
So they'll be in Europa League.
Yeah.
Then they got fifth.
Yeah. So again, like still not a small club.
Yeah.
Player of his caliber, that's probably where he needs to be at this stage of his career. Go there, score 20, 30 goals a season, and then
could do it. I mean,
either look to move on or bring that club with you and move on up.
Picked a bit more now, or someone else wants to secure. Take him to Spurs.
I'll definitely have him. No questions asked. Yeah.
Shut up. Whoops. It's gonna get us copyright strike.
Right, it was only 2 seconds.
Yeah. But that was the 4-0 match, wasn't it? That one, or was it the 1-0?
No,
Denmark. There was the 2-1, wasn't it?
Denmark won against Czech Republic 2-1.
Man.
Denmark beat. Yeah, I know. So
I couldn't have been more wrong.
Thing is, there's just so many teams.
Did you even watch the game?
No, I see it at the start. I did not watch it. Yeah.
No, Denmark beat Wales 4-0 and then played Czech Republic and beat them 2-1. It's the game we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
It was Czech versus Duiburg.
Yeah.
Well,
Dolberg.
Dolberg had a particularly cool moment. I'll start with my credit for Joachim Meiler, is I think how you pronounce that, playing left wing back, with his right foot, the outside of his right foot with an in-swinging cross. It's by my metric, the assist of the tournament. If you can name another one, then fair enough to you. But the cool thing was, it basically landed on Dolberg's foot, and because he had to sort of jump to volley it in, he ended up on his knees, sliding onto the goal line. So his celebration and his goal-scoring movement were the same thing. And it just filled me with joy. It was beautiful. And it's not like he hasn't had a bad tournament himself either.
No, he's another youngster, I guess, that you would say he's really put himself out there.
Coming through and look good at this tournament. Maybe he'll get a move. I think. What clubs he play for? It's a French team, isn't it?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but he looks strong, looks quick.
Definitely get a move. Yeah.
Has a good eye for goals. So another one to keep an eye on.
Former Ajax player. Just shouting that out. You know.
Claiming credit for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, fair enough.
Hey, that's my lineage, man.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So, anything else on that one?
No, pretty happy with that one.
Well, then we might as well move on and talk about the last one, England, Ukraine, which was very, very happy victory.
Can we just leave it there? Just like
easy. Look, it's the first time we've scored 4 goals in a tournament game since 1966. I'm just not sure how loud I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the football ghosts might.
or the copyright will come
The
get you.
copyright.
Yeah,
The amount of times I've heard that year in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, that's right.
4 goals.
Look, we were
beautiful.
We were awesome, and for the first 4 minutes, it looked like Ukraine might be quite difficult, and then
everyone was definitely nervous.
I think so. They started out obviously with a lot of energy for 4 minutes, and we see the beautiful through ball from Sterling, and Kane pokes it home, and they're I'm not going to say their game plan went to pot, but an early goal like that can shake some teams, and it seemed to shake them.
While settling England, you would easily say it settled England. Kane putting one away, puts everything back on track for them. They look solid from then on out. I'd just like to say Shaw had a great game.
Absolutely,
Shaw was amazing.
He's another one that's put himself back out there this tournament.
And the previous season.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
I reckon he'll get a move to a big team.
Yeah, maybe. Well, hey, come on, he's probably the best left back in the Premier League now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. Looking good.
No.
Southgate's a genius, I guess.
Yeah. See, this one I think I was really happy to see the 5 at the back, or 3 at the back, whatever you want to call it, work against Germany, and I was interested to see because now it's the knockout games. What's he going to do? Will he go back to it? Will he go back to 4-2-3-1? And we went with the 4 and attacked, and it worked. It was awesome. We kept the ball well. We moved the ball, quicker than what they could handle. Bit of those reminiscent of the World Cup sort of what would you call them? Set piece manoeuvres. Shaw flicking in a cross and Mason Mount getting his assist.
Yes.
And obviously, as a Liverpool fan, very, very happy to see Henderson score his first goal for England.
Oh, really? I didn't realise it was his first. It was a very good goal.
Yeah, it took him a long time, eh?
There was Yeah, that's right.
Not
actually,
bad for another kid. New kid on the block.
Yeah, another 30-year-old, impressive, promising player.
Yeah.
I think there's a stat about him. He was one of only 7 outfield players in England history above 50 caps to not have scored. I couldn't tell you who the other 6 are.
You mean excluding goalkeepers?
So outfield.
Oh yeah. So even then, they're all going to be centre backs and
Centre backs or full backs,
defensive midfielders.
Yeah, those kind of guys. And it's not like Henderson is a forward himself.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But
not until recently.
not
until last game.
Not until that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that still has something to say for, like you were saying, with the different formations that England have been able to switch to and play. Their game management through the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Whether it's been minutes or bringing on guys at the right time, taking them off, picking the right formation at the right time. Southgate's done his homework.
Yeah.
The only thing I can really say badly about Southgate is, where's the waistcoat? Like, bring it back.
Bring back the waistcoat.
Don't worry about the trophy. Bring home the waistcoat. That's what I want to say.
I feel like Julian Nagelsmann really set like a new standard for how you need to dress.
Sartorial. Positive managers. What? Okay. How about this scenario for you? We're in the final. Italy are 1-0 up. Southgate, he's getting a bit warm. He's getting a bit flustered. The blazer comes off. The waistcoat's underneath. And a big Kano pops one in the top corner.
Job done.
Job
done.
One all, job done.
1-1, job done. I think it could be a 1-1 final. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll go back to the Ukraine game. But yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And of course, good to see Kane himself sort of score. He's pushed himself into a bit of form.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's working towards. He had to play into it for a bit, and like I said, we said earlier on, I said, no, you've got to start Harry Kane no matter what. I don't care how bad he's playing. You need 100%. Him there because he will step up at the right moment, and he did.
Yeah,
and will do.
And as someone who had, I think it was on this podcast, had those questions, had those doubts about Sterling too. Super stoked to be proven wrong on both of them and on Southgate.
Yeah, Sterling's been very consistent. I think, it's amazing how much trouble he gets from the press, even though he is actually scoring all the time. And
Same vein as Morata though, isn't it? Really, very much focused on the bad that he does. And not realising that he scores in every second or third game that he plays. That's still a good record for not an out-and-out striker.
Well, Morata's got a really impressive goal record for Spain.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. But I think what happens is once the media realises who they can target and all of the fans and stuff kind of agree, they just keep hitting on it forever and ever and ever and ever. Yeah. And it actually kind of makes it true. It manifests
clickbait,
reality.
Yeah. Clickbait.
Sometimes they're not wrong. Sometimes it's just... But you're right. It does sort of... It's a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. It kind of... It happens because you think it's going to happen.
But they just pick their target. And then once they've settled on it, they don't relent. Look, there's no... It's not like every weekend I'm reading about how shit Yerry Mina is.
Yeah.
You should do that way.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. If you're actually shit, they don't mention you at all.
Yeah,
it's because no one cares, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only care about when one of the best players in the world is performing a little bit worse than normal.
Is dipping.
Yeah.
And Morata has this sort of thing about him where he does something awesome, and then he almost has to immediately do something shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to shy away from the fact that penalty was bad. And that Sterling hasn't had his moments where he was average, hesitated or gave the ball away or anything. But you're right, for the most part, these players who are, I guess, media targets, they're brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
They play for Man City, they play for Juventus, they play for England, Spain. They're up yours.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty harsh for people to go after Sterling and Kane and all that stuff when, you know, this team is actually... Well, people forget that the Premier League is the hardest league in the world. So all of these players are Premier League players. They're already a higher pedigree than a lot of the teams they're versing.
Yeah, and the England are normally really average.
Well, and England still wants to paint itself as an underdog.
I don't know if that's true. We want to the media want to paint us as favourites, while simultaneously like deriding every single like minuscule wrong thing that happens. And it's disgusting. Journalists are evil.
Yeah, the grime.
The grime.
Yeah. So I suppose we might as well move on to the England-Denmark game. Was there anything you wanted to sort of talk about in that one? Because that was a very close game. It was a thriller.
Squeaky bums. So again, another benefit of an own goal, sort of. I don't know why I'm starting. I don't know why I'm starting with that.
Definitely. Dude, Bukayo Saka, man, has been awesome. He had 2 starts and he made an impact in both games.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so.
Yeah.
I think Saka's proven that he's worthy of being in the squad.
Call up, yeah.
Absolutely. He's the one that actually gets in behind and causes damage.
That's definitely true. And it's good to see Kane actually doing what he does at Spurs, dropping deep, and he was the one who fed the ball to Saka, who then crossed it for Sterling, who didn't kick it, but
who didn't do anything.
Oh, he would have put it in though. He was on top of it, so
it was like,
he was still
one
doing the right
yard.
thing.
Like 1 yard. Yeah.
Yeah, if he faced against Patrick Schick, he would have lost.
It's like it's the opposite of Patrick Schick.
But again, Saka, down to Southgate, picking him for the squad, knowing that he had something that those other players around that position don't have. Sterling, Grealish like to sit on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah,
and come central.
Yeah, and really like to be the vocal point of that attack, and get it and play with it, pass it on, get it back. Where he's the complete opposite. He wants to get the ball, get ahead of his man and go at him.
Yeah, run out wide and cross.
So it's a smart move, and just picking. Yes, he's young, but he's got something that the others, not that they can't do it, but it's just not their natural game. And if you're playing a fullback behind him that can cross a ball and play around with it like somebody like a Trippier can, you want somebody to draw the fullback right back and give those England fullbacks the space to advance up the field and do their thing too. So
I think Saka has played a bit of right back as well. Yeah. So that's the thing. So even when
versatility,
that means the fullback, if it's Trippier, is free to bomb forward and he will cover.
Yeah.
Because just all round good player.
Yeah.
And like playing for Arsenal is like working in a coal mine. Like it just you come out stronger. Like
you struggle to see the light.
Yeah. It's hard work, and it can, eventually you produce a diamond.
That's pretty good. Okay, I like that. Again on Saka, given that you guys are giving the credit to him, and rightly so, I want to give the credit to Southgate because that was the right choice. I mean, as it turned out, him starting as opposed to Sancho, as opposed to Phil Foden, it worked.
Yeah, definitely.
Southgate has done his homework, and that's what it comes down to. He's picking the right guys for the right time. Sancho had a great game against Ukraine.
Well,
did he start against Ukraine? And he had a great game then. So
see again, I agree with you here because Southgate is just on another level. He's
mixed
universe brain because he thought for that game it was like only for the Ukraine game did he need a right-footed right wing because he knew that their weakness was sort of that crosses from the right side.
Yeah. So
he was intelligent enough to pick Sancho, who hadn't even played like a minute.
I think he played 8 minutes at the end of one of the games.
So who hadn't even started, and he still tactically, the man is phenomenal.
Isn't it insane that you can make it to the quarterfinals with Sancho only playing 8 minutes in a major tournament?
Yeah.
Like when you look at that team sheet and you pick your, 25 or whatever you pick, he's one of the first 5 you pick.
Yeah.
And he only played 8 minutes up till that game.
Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
Yeah, and once again, well done Southgate for picking the right guys, right time.
Yeah, well,
and it'll be interesting to see where he goes against Italy.
Well, I was going to say, just on your thing about Southgate too, I don't know if you guys have watched any of these post-match interviews with Southgate and stuff, and you're right, this guy is definitely doing his homework, because the things he's saying in these interviews are crazy. He'll be like saying, like, yeah, well, after that, after beating Germany, I've got to make sure these players don't cheat on their diets, or like, or he's like,
wow,
I've got to make sure they're not having nightmares. Like, he's seriously into all of these tiny little things that affect. That's the level in which he is analysing football now.
Yeah,
he's gotten down to like, are you wearing the right socks?
Yeah, what colour are your undies, Raheem?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. But things like that matter, right? It's literally the sock thing is true.
Yeah,
they will make sure players are wearing the right socks, because if you're wearing the wrong socks, you get blisters, and then you starts hurting when you run, and you start making mistakes. So literally all of those tiny little things do add up.
The 1%ers.
And Southgate is a man with an eye for detail.
Yeah,
that's I think what it is.
Yeah.
He noticed where, like, specifically for the Germany game, he noticed where the sort of outlets were, the threats were coming from, and he said it's the wing backs. So we're going to go 5. We're going to press with our wing backs, and
match him up.
Yeah,
smart move.
Match him up. Go at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he thought about it much harder than that. But
he might not though. He he's a simple thinker, but an in-depth thinker. So maybe that's the way he thought. He looked at it and went, let's match them up. Like you said, the Premier League's one of the harder leagues in the world. Not putting the German league down or anything, or any of those players down, but yeah, let's match them up and back the talent that the squad's got to go out and win their individual duels, and
absolutely
it worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So
well, that's the other thing, right? Is so when you're an English player in the Premier League, you get the privilege of playing with the best players in the world of other nationalities.
Yeah.
However, when you're playing for the German national team, you're playing with all your teammates. Anyway, like you're not.
Yeah, specifically if you play for Bayern.
Bayern Munich too.
You don't get this outside influence of these as many amazing world class players, because all of the world class players in Germany are Germans.
Well, it's also funny that you kind of bring that up, because we made the Bayern joke there, but how many of the squad are from Bayern in comparison to previous squads? Because you'd certainly say it was true in, say, 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this time a lot less. We talked about it previously with the defenders, and how not one of the centre-backs was from Bayern Munich.
I think Sürle.
But he didn't play a minute.
Who didn't play?
Didn't play at all. So it's these guys from, it's like Matthias Ginter and Rudiger and...
did they pick Mustafi?
And Hummels. Mustafi did not make the squad. You might be surprised to know.
So these guys like Bayern has ran out of world-class German defenders. All of the best defenders in Germany are French.
Kimmich played?
Yeah,
but he played...
I was talking about centre-backs.
He played right wing. He played right wing back.
Kimmich is an incredibly good defender.
He basically played right midfield.
Well, he's got that like Marcelo effect, where
Yeah.
he just controls that entire side of the pitch so much that he can go wherever he wants and not screw up.
Hey, Joshua, what position are you playing? Right.
Yeah, right side.
Right. Yeah, Marcelo, what position are you playing? Left.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, we dragged off topic a bit there.
So we're on the Denmark.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even get to the good points, to be fair.
So Marcelo in the England-Denmark game, he played wonderful.
Can we go to the free kick? the first free kick of the tournament. Well, sorry, the first
scored
goal
free
scored
kick.
from a free kick.
Very nice.
What a banger from a kid.
Yeah.
Like
20 years old.
21.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Like,
So we looked him up over there. So I can't remember what his name is.
Mikhail Damsgaard.
Yeah. So he plays for Sampdoria. Cool. Now it's on my radar. That's for sure. Love seeing that. Like just 21-year-old kid out of nowhere banging one in.
Yeah.
No one saw it coming.
like
Not Pickford.
Pickford wasn't far away, but if he got it, you would have to say it probably would have been like save of the tournament.
Yeah,
like, it was a good goal, and Pickford wasn't that far away.
It was a rocket, and he barely had time to see it come over the wall before it was in.
Yeah, like just a good bit of football from every point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah, like go Denmark, eh?
Well, it's funny now how everyone's trying to say like everyone's complaining, trying to say like but it wasn't actually a foul. Like Kane shouldn't have been a penalty on Kane, and everyone's just salty because of the Raheem Sterling.
Well, it's funny that we're gonna come on to. Obviously, we're gonna come on to that later.
Yeah.
Something that someone with a very keen eye pointed out. Denmark made a wall as well that blocked Pickford's view, but your wall, if you're the attacking team, isn't allowed to be within. I think it's 2 meters of the defensive wall.
Oh, okay.
And they took a step towards England's defensive wall when that free kick was taken. So I mean, we can talk about how unfair the penalty was. Probably fair. Probably that would be true. But if you're keen of eye, maybe that should have been retaken as well.
Yeah, I see that.
And
interesting.
I mean, look, but
that's it. You know,
I'm not of that. I'm not of that school. I'm of the school. This kid's banged a wicked free kick from 25 yards.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
No one's cared that much about walls since Donald Trump. So.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that was like when we talked about it while watching the match. Is like, I take a bit more of a holistic approach to football, and it was kind of like England deserved to win that game overall, so the luck kind of fell in their favour ultimately.
Yeah.
And that's just what you're going to see when you play better.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, you sort of, this said a lot, you make your own luck. And we did. We made our own luck. We rode our luck. You know, Denmark got their own, if you buy into that, got their own little slice.
Well, they put the fear of God in you. That's for sure.
What bloody praying after that, I swear. And obviously we had the own goal and then extra time. And we had the penalty. Do any of you think in any of your minds that it was a penalty?
I don't know.
Yes, no. I lean more towards yes. The way I saw it, and my eyesight's not good because I support Spurs. So,
right.
But the way I saw it was Raheem got nibbled twice.
Yeah.
The first one, and you could tell when he got touched if he got touched that first time that he was making his way down.
Yeah.
He had already made that decision, and then the second contact came through. So, yeah, he was already going down, which makes the second contact look worse. I think it was a penalty. He went down. They asked the question. That's what VAR is for. They didn't overturn it, so it's not Raheem's fault that he went down. If there's any gripes with it, go like rip out the cords on VAR because I don't like it. I don't think anyone else likes it, but
yeah, I think that's
the ref called it a penalty. They didn't overturn it, and so be it. But yeah, just the two little niblets on Raheem was
Sterling. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
Man, we watched it so many times, and I still don't know because it's kind of like it's already at that point where you have to mind read. Like, do you know? How do we know if he went down because the contact was enough, or if because he
premeditated it, or
was it enough to actually go down, or was it enough just to make him want to go down? You know, like it's too hard. Like we're into the subjective, and I don't know. I sort of have to be like, which is why it's great to be able to fall back on the cop out and say the holistic approach to football meant that England played better overall and the luck fell in their favour.
Well, there was a challenge on Henderson, I think, in extra time in the box that they didn't even look at it.
I thought there was more in that one too.
Yeah, there was probably there's certainly more. There was definitely more contact in it. I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
But he's a known goal scorer, so at international level, so you got to stop him while you can.
Known goal scorer. Yeah, just one. Whereas Harry Kane's a known goals scorer. And do you think he kind of got? It's a pretty shabby penalty, and he got pretty lucky.
It was pretty average. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so, that was funny. That was like what we were saying before when Kane had that chance early on. No, not early on. I mean, just moments before that, where the ball deflected back into like the perfect striker poacher area.
Yeah.
And no one was there to mop it up.
That's right. Oh yeah. Kane took the shot.
Yeah. He came in from the side a bit more.
Schmeichel saved, and there was sort of no one where Kane would have been.
And so we were saying like Kane was doing the work of the wingers, and then
no one did his job.
So since no one was doing his job, he wasn't there to score it. But then when it was with the penalty, he was there to do his own job twice.
Yeah, but he only did one of the jobs.
It's always better when you finish it off yourself.
Yeah. Like, well, that's great because now the goal doesn't count as like a penalty. It's
but
open play.
But again, another thing about this tournament, another missed penalty. How many? I don't have it on hand, but I would say the conversion rate has probably been about 30%.
You got to think it's the pressure.
Oh, it's just a lottery. Tournament. It's an absolute lottery.
Stop that.
Well, and you saw too, Kasper Schmeichel managed to save that one blind as well. He had lasers
he had a laser in his face, which...
What a dickbag whoever did that.
Oh, get rid of him, mate.
Maybe you should give a laser in the face more often.
Wow, unusual sentence. Well, funnily enough, he got back up and he nearly saved the rebound as well.
Yeah, I know.
He had a amazing game.
Yeah, man, great player.
You would have to say on that penalty, because Kane didn't hit it as well as he normally would, and it was an average penalty, Schmeichel didn't either push it wide or get a decent handle on it.
That's right.
Which gave it straight back to him. It was almost like they were playing a 1-2.
Yeah.
And it was in between that stretch out and push it around the corner or get it with both hands, and it just kind of bobbled back out to Kane.
Well, yeah, it's funny you say that, because if it was, say, another 7 inches to the right, he's able to get a firm hand on it and push it away.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't go for a corner, it just goes away. Or if it goes another couple inches to the left, it's in the breadbasket, and he can just smother it. Whereas where it was sort of right in the middle of those. And he tried his very best, didn't he? But it bubbled away.
There's nothing against him. He's a great goalkeeper. He's the best goalkeeper for Denmark since his dad.
Yeah.
He's probably a better goalkeeper than his dad.
Well, it's been discussed.
He probably would be. I mean, when you consider how the standard of everyone has increased as well.
Yeah.
So I think if it was like comparing them together, he probably was better.
Yeah.
And we forget he's a Premier League winner.
FA Cup winner.
Current FA Cup holder. Like, he's won a lot. He's not just some little old goalkeeper from Denmark.
He's not some...
He's world class.
Also ran. Yeah, he's a top keeper. I think more... I don't know how well other people rate him in the sort of pantheon of current best goalkeepers, but for me, he's in there. I think he's unregarded, disregarded.
Well, it's funny when you think about like how when Chelsea spent $85 million on Kepa or something a few seasons ago, when they could have just gone for like Kasper Schmeichel or something.
Yeah, who wouldn't have cost 85 million?
They could have gone for 30 mil.
Probably.
That's funny how everyone just disregards him like that. It's interesting.
Oh, he's in the top 2 Schmeichels of all time.
Yeah, he's the best Danish goalkeeper in Denmark.
Definitely.
which is probably where he is now, after having gone home. Probably in Leicester, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. And it's sad to see the end of the Denmark feel-good story. They were the Cinderella team of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wanted to see them lose, but
the way they got out of the group was amazing too. To win it on the last day like that, and everyone was playing for Christian Eriksen, and it was great to see.
Yeah, it was good to see both teams come out with an Eriksen shirt on an England shirt, and hold it together before the game.
Yeah.
Great.
Once again, he's played in England for he was there for, was it
6 or 7 years?
Yeah, long time. Great player.
Yep. Another Ajax player.
Yep.
Same.
I've played for Ajax at this stage, so. Good on them, and
yeah, it's good.
Sad to see them go, but
still a great accomplishment for them this tournament, I think.
Oh yeah,
Very
definitely.
Good. And so is there anything else you want to say on that match before we move on to the final?
A non-footballing thing from both semis. A little remote control car brought the ball out.
Great.
Driven by Lorenzo Insigne.
Really?
It wasn't driven. It was just a joke because he's a small man.
Yeah.
It's a small car.
Yeah, cool. Why not?
I like that. I like that a lot more. I quite liked it when I think it was the 2010 World Cup, the first time they had the little plinth.
Yeah.
And the referee would walk past the plinth, grab the ball. Cool. Got it.
Now the ball drives out.
Now the ball comes to you.
Cool.
Beautiful.
It's a shame they can't just put the drive part inside the ball.
Oh, stop it.
So then the ball just moves on its own.
A remote control ball.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And then the ball just rolls to you. I suppose then they can start match fixing.
Is that how?
That's the only problem.
I was gonna say, is that how Pedri managed 100% pass accuracy?
Yeah, he's got that. He's got an app on his phone. He can adjust the curve.
Is that how England deserved to win because the luck was on their side?
Yeah.
Oh, look, we won't get into match.
Won't
get into match.
Was it just Harry Redknapp trying to figure out how to use this remote control ball?
So we won't get into match fixing. Anyway, the Italian national team are in a game.
Yeah. Well, we won't talk about England's side of the draw in this tournament. We'll just leave that as what it is.
They still had to beat a very good team.
Well, we would have had to play. We would have had to play Holland if, they didn't muff it up.
Yeah.
And they went up against Scotland. They didn't beat them, but they went up against them.
Yeah.
Can we just say, imagine if England win the final and the only team we didn't beat in the entire tournament was Scotland.
Yeah. Well, and Scotland will still take that home as a winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joint winners.
Joint winners.
We didn't lose to the champions.
Well, technically, New Zealand still hold the World Cup. They haven't lost a World Cup game.
Still hold the World Cup.
Well, we were the only team to
unbeaten.
go undefeated. Yeah.
Unbeaten. Yeah.
In our one. Well, Netherlands was so close.
Yeah, very close. Very close indeed.
Yeah. So, England, Italy. That's what's coming up. How you feeling about that?
I take it that it's directed at me first.
Yes.
I mean, look, I don't even know where to start. It's something I've never seen before. England in a major. I mean, 3 years ago was the first time I've seen this in a semi, and then we had the Nations League semi, which we also lost.
Yeah.
And now we're in a final. Finally. I don't even. I don't even know what I should think. I'm
surprised the entire tournament hasn't been overturned because of VAR yet.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the 89th minute when we're 3-0 up to be shaken awake. It's no, it was all a dream.
Yeah.
It's all a dream. Did we beat Croatia? No, we lost.
No. Got knocked out by Ukraine.
Yeah.
England, Italy. Two of the best game management.
That's
from
right.
both sides. They have really managed their games to the Italy do it every single tournament. They know what they're doing.
Well, just sometimes wrong.
Like you said, they made 5 subs just to slow the game down.
Yeah.
And to absolute put everyone to sleep and kill the game.
Yeah.
Does this game have the potential to be an absolute bore fest? Just snoozing at 15 minutes in.
Yes.
Just
well,
done.
that's the thing. I feel like Southgate took a lot of inspiration from Italy at like the last 4 tournaments. Setting up 3 at the back, playing defensive, holding the ball, and
look, I've absolutely no problem winning a boring game.
I feel like it could be a 0-0 extra time.
That's it. If you want to be England and win, you got to win like England.
Yeah, we've got to win. We've got to win pragmatically, and Southgate has been pragmatic all throughout the tournament.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting to see what he does. We've given praise to Jorginho on this episode, and it'll be interesting to see if maybe Mason Mount in particular, at the point of the midfield, is a very hard-working player, and he is going to know Jorginho very well.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to know a couple of his weaknesses, and probably how to get at him. I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing, but I don't know if we're going to be able to unlock something in there.
Match him up and move him around the pitch, slow him down.
Yeah.
Or just hurt him.
Yeah.
Kick him. Just take him out.
Kick him.
It's a good thought. Do you switch it up and put two playing around Jorginho there? Put Grealish in that hole as well, and really get him thinking of not just one player, but there's 2 zipping around you like that. Could be another option for Southgate. I think at about 60 minutes to bring on Grealish and play Grealish and Mount together there, or Grealish and Foden together to a double change.
Interesting.
And just really start to put the gas on him a bit. That would be the way I would play it if I was Southgate. You'd have to sacrifice the 3 up top, or
sacrifice one of Rice and Phillips.
Yeah, I think you'd sacrifice Rice if it was me. Phillips has been another kid that playing for Leeds and now in the England squad. He's been immense. So
he had an interview where he was like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Bielsa.
Yeah,
like he's like, he improved my game tremendously over the last few
years.
Brilliant. Another great football thinker.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to. I mean, it's unfortunate we didn't get Bamford, but I'd like to see more.
Paddy Bamf, bro.
Yeah, Paddy Bamf. I'd like to see more.
Badass mother footballer, yeah.
I'd like to see more English Leeds players make I mean, as long as they're good enough.
They look good, man. I gotta say.
I'd like to see that.
A threat.
He looked tireless. He's basically played he hasn't played every minute, but he's played a lot of minutes.
He's been their main striker. So
Calvin Phillips.
No,
Bamford.
I thought it was still on Bamford. Sorry.
No, it's not.
I thought we were watching the final when I fell asleep.
Keep up, Ash.
I fell asleep 2 minits in. Gee, sorry.
Yeah, geez, bro. Come on,
Just talking about
this is your trial, man. Come on.
It's all right. He's won all.
I'll take it extra times.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like to me, like what you guys are saying is you feel like you have to win the midfield to win this game.
I think that's true of any football game, personally. It depends on where. It's to be fair, I think that because most of the time your creation comes from your midfield. With some teams, it comes from, say, the fullbacks, or it comes from the wingers, and the midfield is defensive. But in this case, it's coming from Barella, it's coming from Jorginho, it's coming from Verratti. I think I think we do need to shut those players down, and I think our best way is by playing 3 at the back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see that 3 at the back.
I would like to see what they did against Germany. They can match it up, and then once you hit that 60-minute mark, make those changes. You got the squad depth. England have the depth over Italy. I personally believe that. And if you change that up at half an hour to go, and really put some energy back into that midfield, you could be on a winner.
Well, that's the thing. I think maybe Italy has more depth in the midfield. England has more depth up front.
I think that's probably true. I can't remember exactly how many, but I think aside from Merritt, his third goalkeeper, Mancini's used every single player.
Shit.
Obviously, he won't be able to do that in the final, missing Spinazzola and.
Well, they've already played. But.
Yeah, they've already played, but he won't be able to. He won't. Spinazzola in particular is who I mean. He's had a
out for 6 months.
Oh my goodness, he's had an outstanding tournament. And unless Luke Shaw spins another assist in, then he may be the left back of the team of the tournament. Who would know?
Yeah.
Southgate's done quite similar as well. The two extra goalkeepers haven't played. Chilwell hasn't played. Connor Cody and Ben White haven't played.
Did Ben White make it?
Ben White replaced Trent Alexander.
Oh, yes, he did too. Sorry.
So those 3 outfield players.
Oh, and no, Calvert-Lewin did come on.
Calvert-Lewin played
in the end. Yeah, that's right.
So sorry, 5 players for England haven't played, which you'd also say is pretty extensive use of your squad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So praise must go to those 2 managers for being able to work through that, and know exactly who is right for which situation. I think my biggest worry is that after a couple of little nervous ones in the Denmark game, Pickford might, do that again.
Well, if you go by what you were saying earlier, though, Italy, maybe you should just aim for penalties, because Italy has just had a round of penalties, and you guys luckily didn't have to. You played extra time, but you didn't go penalties. So then, statistically, Italy probably won't.
Statistically, with the statistic that I've just pulled out of my bum.
Yes. Well, it's like I always say, it's literally a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, you need to stop saying that.
That's how probability works.
And how I always say it, it's a lottery.
A lottery of 50.
On the day, who knows?
But if you're Gareth Southgate, Betty, how do you line up for the final? You said you want to go with the back 5.
Yep.
Who you gonna stick with? The typical back 5, Shaw on the left.
Yep.
Trippier on the right.
Yep.
The 3 stay as they are.
Yep.
Walker, Stones,
Maguire.
Pickford in goal, obviously.
Yep.
Midfield.
Rice and Phillips
with Mount in the point of it.
Well, that's the thing. If you go 2 there, then there's no point of the attack. There's no point of the midfield. Sorry. So Mount would not start. I know I gave that a chance before.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling it back.
Okay. No, this is where I was.
Yeah.
So Rice and Phillips.
Yeah.
So not Henderson.
No.
Again, maybe. I don't know.
I like the role he plays at the moment. Come on, he's the experienced man. Come on in the last 20 minutes and make sure everyone does their job.
He did offer a cool head. Because Kane is not the type of captain to ball and shout.
He's like a human being.
He's a follow me. Look, I'll do this.
Yeah,
this is
lead by example guy. Whereas Henderson,
it's old school.
Some of the
take you out of the back and give you a whip.
Some of the Liverpool games when there were no fans, you could hear him, just him, and
screaming at the refs.
No, screaming at his teammates, and it's always praise, nearly always. And I think specifically in the second half, maybe if someone in the midfield gets booked, we may need that.
Chuck him off, yeah. Why not? Well, I think Declan Rice has played like every minute. So.
I think not quite, but just about.
Yeah. So,
he's been the one that's been sacrificed for when Henderson comes on.
So Calvin Phillips played every minute, did he?
No, he hasn't either.
Oh, okay. So, but
they're both close. Yeah. Stones, I think, has nearly.
Yeah, he's got the Stones.
No, nobody's played every minute apart from Pickford.
And then up front, front three then. So
well, you can't drop Kane or Sterling, or he won't drop Kane or Sterling.
No,
even if I thought he should, he won't.
Sterling played 120 minutes the other day, and still looked as good in the first as he did by the 120th. Like
he does chill out a bit though.
He might be one that gets sacrificed in that second half. Yeah, his legs might just give him a little bit of issues in it. But
that's when you bring on Grealish.
I'd start those two.
Foden.
Who do you want to play on the other side?
We got to think that he's going to be coming up against Emerson, so it's not the worst position to be in. I think someone like Saka will give him a lot of trouble.
I think I'd probably stick with Saka.
Because they're going to want to go forward, and that leaves that hole behind.
Emerson did play very well. In the Spain game. Yeah,
it's not like he came in for Spinazzola and completely crocked it. He was good.
He filled in perfectly, I think. It's a bit hard him being the third choice fullback at Chelsea, but I think he's actually not bad. It's just
he's a good player.
Bought better players.
I personally think I would go with Sancho.
The only problem with that is I don't think Kane's going to be able to win balls in the air over Chiellini and Bonucci. And Sancho's main threat is his crosses.
Okay, so do we think that maybe... I don't know. I mean, Sancho's got a good... So he likes to get to the byline. Sometimes he'll cross, but sometimes he'll just dribble more.
But that's why I think for that job, Southgate prefers Saka.
Yeah. Okay, I would go with Saka, and I don't think that the balls into the box is going to be the method. I think it's going to be a lot of sort of what we saw against Denmark. Draw them out, move it around. Kane will drop in deep, and maybe he'll be the one to kick Jorginho.
Not against it.
I hope so.
Yeah, not.
I'll kick Jorginho if you want me to.
Yeah, are you going to start up front for England?
Can do.
You please don't.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good match. It may not be a thrilling match. It may be kind of boring, but Sarah has to be, I think. But man, what a time to be alive.
Yeah,
England in a final.
England in a final. Do you think, like in your mind, England being at home as well as everything we've seen in the tournament, are England favourites or is it just straight down the middle?
No, yet again, England somehow is the underdog.
No. England are at home, Wembley, and they're in the first final since 66.
It sounds like a perfect disaster, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've got to be favourites. They have to be favourites. At home, they haven't had to travel a hell of a lot in this tournament. Yeah.
In 30 games.
Yeah, but they could still not lose the game and then lose on penalties.
Just because you don't lose 30 doesn't mean the next game's not 50-50. Quote Gage.
Well, I mean, when we're talking about one match,
it is literally one match.
Yes.
I'd say it's a lottery.
Right. Well, okay, then we'll conclude it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm stoked to even be in this position, and even if we lose, what a ride!
Yeah.
Agreed.
Would you guys both like to make a prediction on the score?
I don't really have a prediction because I want England to win. So I don't want to predict anything, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I know what you're saying. That's fair enough. I don't want to. Yes.
I don't want to manifest reality by saying what I think will happen.
I mean, that's not how life works either. So are you saying that you speaking words into
I have
life?
to go against my better judgment and rationalism to say England will win.
I'll pick England. I think they'll win it.
It'll be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I reckon I could even say I want to say that it'll be done within 90. Like I said, I reckon they've got enough attacking depth there to bring it on in the end of the second half. And yeah, put them to the sword, I guess.
Just got to shut down Chiesa.
Yeah.
Immobile.
I would say, yeah, they'll win by 1 goal.
Yeah.
It'll be close, but I think they'll each them by 1. I don't know how many will be scored, but they'll each them by 1.
1-1. England on penalties.
Oh, not another lottery.
England to win on penalties though would be the ultimate redemption, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's Southgate comes on for the 6th one and scores himself.
it's like literally healing the old wounds.
Yeah.
Like for like.
You could convince me if that happens that God is real.
Yeah, it's the balance. The balance is restored to football.
To the Force.
Does that mean the Earth will be flat again?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Great.
What do you mean again?
Again.
Yeah. It's blasphemy. You gotta respect the dome, bro.
Respect the dome.
The dome on the disc.
It's coming dome.
So is that what you're gonna go with? You're gonna go with this arrogant attitude of like, football belongs to us, so we'll take it back, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good answer. All right. Any closing thoughts there? We've gone for an hour there.
Ash?
No. Just thank you for having me. It's been,
Very good.
Yeah,
It's
you're
been a
very welcome.
pleasure. You did very well.
Yeah, I'd say in on loan, debut, he's earned a second start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool. That's good.
Hopefully we
can on board.
Hopefully we can make this deal permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, promising, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
It's coming dome.
Yeah. All right, sweet. All right, peace everyone. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.